Hey folks, Phil from the future here. The recommended round for this video is round 2 if you want to see Possibility Storm do its thing. Hello folks, Phil Gallagher of ThrabenU here for another Legacy video. Today's video is sponsored by Moxfield.com and we'll take a look at them after round 1. So today we are going to be playing with a... Did I say Legacy video? I think I just said Legacy video. This is a Pioneer video, folks. What am I thinking? It's 9 in the morning. Alright. So we're going to be playing with a very interesting Possibility Storm. So for my Legacy followers out there, you might remember Drannith Magistrate from kind of the like Underworld Breach Companion era, where like this was a relatively powerful sideboard card that sometimes even got main decked. And we're going to try to use this with Possibility Storm to completely lock our opponents out of the game. Alright, so Possibility Storm is a fan favorite in terms of just like the chaos that it causes. So whenever a player casts a spell from their hand, that player exiles it until they exile a card that shares a type with it, and then they cast that card without paying its mana cost. And then you put all the exiled cards with Possibility Storm on the bottom of your library in a random order. So the idea is you play Drannith Magistrate, and then you play Possibility Storm, and your opponent doesn't get to cast any more spells ever again because they can't cast these spells from exile. But Phil, how do you win the game? That's just not losing the game. Great question, Timmy. Well, here we go. We are going to use a card that allows us to learn in order to get a sorcery, a lesson, from our sideboard. The text of these lessons does not matter. What we are going to do is cast one of these while we have Possibility Storm, okay? We have only one sorcery in the main deck. So every time we are going to hit Enter the Infinite and draw our library. We are going to put one card back on top. And that card is Borborygmos Enraged. Okay? Following so far, right? We're going to cast any creature. Maybe, say, a Stonecoil Serpent for X is 0. And that allows us to cast Borborygmos for free. We've drawn our entire library, so, we're probably going to have roughly 20 lands in our hand. And we are going to hold priority and huck all of the lands at my opponent's face until my opponent is dead. This is the game plan. Now, supplementing this is just a fair red-white shell. We have some of the generically good mono-red cards for Pioneer, like Fable of the Mirrorbreaker and Bone Crusher Giant. Bone Crusher Giant can help against some of the early threats to take pressure off to let us get to 5 mana, and Fable of the Mirrorbreaker is just a sweet value card. It, as well as Goldhound, give us some amount of mana acceleration to actually get up to the 5 mana of Possibility Storm. I don't remember if I said this already, but this comes from Musou, I'm sorry, I forget which way your name is pronounced, in my Discord, who brewed this one up. They recently 5-0'd in Legacy with a mono black list, and now we're going to see how their Pioneer list does on the channel. As far as the sideboard goes, we've got some generic tools here. I want to note the Goldspan Dragon. In some cases where our combo might not work, we need some other just kind of curve-topping finisher, and I think Goldspan Dragon fits that role. I think that's what I have to say here. This is going to be kind of crazy. Oh, there's one more thing I should say, actually. So while Flamescroll Celebrant is something that we could just like cast the front side of as an aggressive way to deal some early damage, we're more interested in the backside, Revel in Silence, which says our opponents can't cast spells or activate Planeswalker loyalty abilities this turn. So this is more interesting as a way to get a pseudo time walk to help us buy time to finish setting up the Possibility Storm combo. Alright, my Pioneer videos don't tend to be popular, but I've tended to enjoy the format. Please consider leaving me a like before the video gets started. Those really matter on the videos that aren't Legacy to kind of help with the algorithm-based stuff. With that being said, let's battle. Okay, I am on a one-lander here against a Gigantha deck of some kind. I don't think I'm into this. So I can put the Possibility Storm back in the deck. So this is a 2-lander. Oh, is it awkward that I have Borborygmos in hand? I don't need that in deck, don't I? No, when I cast Enter the Infinite, I can put that back in. Yeah, I guess this is fine. I want a little more mana, but we just kind of hope that Bone Crusher Giant can get us through some early turns here. Maybe my opponent's playing some sort of Jund deck. Enters tapped unless you control 2 or more other lands, so I'll play Inspiring Vantage this turn, I guess. Not really interested in casting a Stonecoil Serpent early on in this game, if I can help it. Alright, we're chilling. Another Possibility Storm. I'm intending on stomping something that my opponent plays. Assuming that they play something that can be killed for 2 power. I don't exactly know, 2 toughness rather. Don't exactly know what we're playing against. Okay, so this is going to be some sort of Jund sacrifice deck. Okay, got it. Do I want to stomp my opponent? I don't know my opponent's deck list well enough to know. But I don't have another play for my turn unless I do this, so I think I'm just going to take the value for my cards here. Alright. Whenever opponent activates an ability that isn't a mana ability. That's probably pretty good. I think I'm just going to play my more mana-efficient option, though. This also prevents me from being attacked by Mayhem Devil. I think I'm into that. I need to check my line. Oh. Yeah, I'm totally interested in tradesies. If you got a trick, you got a trick. Like, that's fine. Oh, you just got another one. Okay. I'm gonna check my land count real quick. 24 with Gold Hounds. Wonder if we need more land. I'll be keeping an eye. I want to cast a Stonecoil Serpent for X's 3. I'd rather cast it for X's 4. Honestly. I'd rather just have something that lives through lightning bolt size pieces of removal. I'm about to get fatal pushed. That's fine. Alright, another land drop from my opponent. I'm going to take 3 and go to 17. And then that's Gigantha to hand. Alright, do I want to just cast Stonecoil Serpent for X's 4? I don't think I do. Because now I'm getting closer to Possibility Storm. I do still need a Learn card. I cast another one of these. And I can attempt to turn Stonecoil Serpent into a Learn card off Possibility Storm. A little weird if I play the Possibility Storm before I have learned, though. Alright. Just straight up 5/5 time. Straight up 5/5 time. This is a 4/4. The treasure tokens would be very good for me. And playing this allows me to keep the Stonecoil Serpent in hand for Possibility Storm-based reasons. I'm not optimistic about my deck thus far. Like, I know I mulliganed here and kept kind of a landlight hand. But I'm definitely a little nervous. Let's make 3 treasures. Now, I say I'm a little nervous, but I might just win next turn. So, there's that. My treasures look a lot less good. Well, what do I do here against these Mayhem Devils? I can play the Drannith Magistrate first. But I don't know that I live... Well, I don't know that I live next turn, period. Alright. I think I want to cast this first, rather than cast the Drannith Magistrate first. This gives me 2 hits to find a Learn card. Let's cast this Stonecoil Serpent for X is 0 and see what happens. Yeah, I'll cast that. And I take this damage here. I guess I can do this same thing next turn, but attempt a chump block here takes 6. Yeah, I think that's where I'm at. I don't know. Maybe I'm supposed to just take 6 from the Mayhem Devils. No, I can't really just take that much from the Mayhem Devils. Oh. Oh, wait. That's not going to happen. what is going to happen instead. Is that just another Claim the Firstborn? Is that what's happening? Yeah, that is another Claim the Firstborn. 3, 6, 11, 12. Yeah, okay. I will concede to that. I don't know that I'm supposed to cast the Drannith Magistrate, though. Because, like, if I do, I lose this, take 4 direct damage, go to 8, get a random creature. Very unsure about that. I don't really know how to sideboard. I have been sent some brief notes, but none of those notes cover this matchup. I'm gonna assume that Skyclave is probably not bad, just taking out the Mayhem Devils so that I can actually use my treasures seems good. I'm not really sure that I want the rest of this. I don't know exactly what my opponent's deck list looks like. I assume Rest in Peace is probably not bad. And there's some scavenging oozy type stuff in there in some capacity. I don't know the format well enough to actually know. But I seem to remember there's some, like, black graveyard centric creature that transforms. I care about searching my library for Possibility Storm. Probably. Bone Crusher Giants didn't remove the things that I wanted them to remove this game. Let's make a swap like that and kind of keep the rest of the stuff. Maybe want to keep this, or maybe want to go up one more as just like another thing that can give me treasures to get to 5 mana. But I really don't know. I was just far enough behind that game that when I played a Possibility Storm, it just wasn't good enough. This hand has mana and 2 Possibility Storms. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it. I don't really think I need to take damage to play out the Gold Hound on turn 1. It's probably not that bad to do so, but the card probably just gets Fatal Pushed at some point anyway. Probably gets Fatal Pushed right now. I think I still just play it out and make my opponent use the resource. Like, every card that gets used on something like this is a card that doesn't get used on a Drannith Magistrate later. Sure. Stomp is fine. Alright. Land go. I do need a little bit of gas here. Alright, there is a Fable of the Mirror Breaker. That's the sort of card that I would love right now to, like, bridge me to the mid-game. Well, I am fine using that to remove this. That'll give me something to do with my mana. Definitely worried about my Possibility Storm just getting destroyed. Just as a heads up, this only does damage to attacking or blocking creatures, so I can't get it free combat to stop my opponent from getting the treasure. Oh man, opponent only discarded 1 card there. That's definitely worrying. Alright, take out this creature. And my opponent is at least going to have a 4/3 in play here. Okay. Do I play this turn? This is really weird in terms of mana efficiency. But I think I am supposed to put this into play first, and the goal is trying to lock my opponent out. The problem here is that, like, they can just attack for 8 every turn. So, like, okay, Fatal Push can also just happen. So, I think conceptually this is a problem with the deck, right? Like, I have a 2-card combo that doesn't win the game innately, and it doesn't stop, like, this on-board stuff. Like, look at how much. So I'm going to attack for 4 this turn, then I'm going to get attacked for 10 next turn. I just don't think I'm going to keep up with the pace of my opponent's deck list here. And it's not like this is a blisteringly fast start or anything either. We'll see where it goes, but I'm just, like, dead next turn. So, like, I have to top deck a creature, which has to get me into a learn spell. Or, yeah. This is not good. I also think I could just, like, die if my opponent does a Mayhem Devil. Oh, okay, they're gonna copy the Bone Crusher instead, giving up a little bit of value for just more immediate damage, which is fair. Alright. That's all my opponent's got. At least in theory. I don't have another enchantment. Right. Oh, I can go into a Fable of the Mirror Breaker. But that's not gonna save me. My opponent uses... Well, shit, my opponent could just attack with both their creatures. They don't even have to copy. Yeah, okay. GG. Today's video is sponsored by Moxfield.com. Moxfield is a deck building website, but it does more than just that. I've got the collection tracker pulled up today, and you can keep track of which cards you do and don't own, so that you'd never have to worry about, hey, do I actually own this card? Did I actually buy this? And if you're not scared of large numbers, you can also take a look at the total estimated value of those cards as well, and realize exactly how much those EDH decks are worth. Okay, I have Drannith Magistrate and Possibility Storm, as well as a couple of things that accelerate mana. I think that means I keep this hand. Although, again, I do wish that I just had more lands rather than the Gold Hounds, I think. Or maybe more accurately, I wish that I had more land. I probably want both more land and Gold Hound, if I'm being honest here. So we're playing against the Mono Green Devotion deck list, which I kind of consider to be like the litmus test for how viable your deck is, because I consider it to be just one of the better decks in the format in terms of like raw speed and like potential combo power. I'll play a Gonjo this turn, and I think I'm gonna get the Drannith Magistrate into play now. Would I trade this for an elf? Absolutely. Anything to slow down my opponent is fine. Alright, cool. Alright, what awful, terrible thing is happening? Alright, it is a Cavalier of Thorns, so that is a 5/6. My opponent has acquired a Nykthos. I'm maybe okay? Unsure. This awkwardly is not great in the face of Karn. So this turn, I will play a Gold Hound. I'll play a Professor. And I'll just take the less expensive one. And I'm chilling. Next turn I can play Possibility Storm. Assuming my opponent doesn't Karn. Is not great for me. So now my opponent just has a Billion D Devotion. I guess they can't cast the Storm the Festivals from the graveyard, which is a boon for me. I guess this doesn't have Trample or anything. Does this have Trample? No, that doesn't have Trample. I just don't need this body anymore, though. I'll soak up the 5 damage now. Alright. Fingers crossed, I think I actually win this one. Not this turn, but I think I win this one. Pay the 2 life. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sacrifice that for 5. Then next turn, I cast Environmental Sciences into a win. And I have an expendable blocker so that I don't just die to onboard damage, because there's a shit ton of onboard damage right now. Especially with the Nykthos activation for Lair of the Hydra. Okay, so this is going to go into another random sorcery. Is it just another storm? Okay, it is another storm, but Drannith Magistrate stops my opponent from casting that. And I'll just pump the mana into Lair of the Hydra, which I'm just double checking does not trample. Alright. We're good. Alright, I am glad that we have done the thing at least once. Again, though, like, my opponent just had so much onboard damage by the time that I could do this whole Possibility Storm thing. Alright. So, cast this, which will Possibility Storm into Enter the Infinite, which I will cast. Doing it. Now I find Borborygmos. There he is. Now let's find Stonecoil Serpent. I'll cast that for X is 0. Done. Possibility Storm into Borborygmos. Hold priority. Start discarding lands. I do this while holding priority so that my opponent just has no opportunity to respond. Although I don't have to hold priority here because my opponent is hellbent. All right, scoreboard. We did the thing at least once. So I imagine that I want Alpine Moon here or Nykthos. This is a pseudo Blood Moon effect for 1 card. Let's get those in here. I don't know that I'm really boarding anything else. Skyclave Apparition is okay. A little unsure about sideboarding with this deck. Like, am I supposed to get rid of this, or am I supposed to try to use this as a, like, time walk? I'm probably supposed to use this as a time walk. I don't really think I can ever cut any of the learn cards, and I don't know that I can cut my tutors. Like, does that just mean I am cutting, like, basically this every round? Unsure. I think it just means that ultimately I don't want to sideboard very much. Like, the deck kind of does what the deck does. I don't think it actually has a lot of flexibility. Do I keep this hand? Drannith Magistrate's pretty darn good in the matchup. I have a lot of mana. I think I fish a little bit, though. Yikes. Not enough mana here. Let's go to 5. A very respectable 5-card hand. I think I just keep these 5. Fable is really good. Really, really good. But I think I just want guaranteed mana and 1/2 of my combo rather than the looting effect. I would like to shuffle my library, if possible, in the not too distant future to shuffle those fables back in, though. Alright, you've got an elf. Now, no, I actually don't have to make that decision. Alright. Alpine Moon. And Nykthos is now a rainbow land instead of a very, very broken mana accelerator. Now, my opponent might not even have one this game. Alright, a Kiora is in play. There's an untap just for 1 point of damage, which is fine. We'll be playing Plains this turn into Drannith Magistrate unless something changes. Yeah. No, I think I'm into that. Turns Kiora into something that pings. Now, excuse me. Now, this doesn't stop mana abilities, but untapped things aren't technically mana abilities, right? Okay, so I do get a damage here. And that is a Karn, which is definitely scary. Gotten 2 damage out of my nice little card here. And a God Pharaoh statue is coming in the not too distant future. That card is a huge fucking problem for me. 1, 2, untap, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, my opponent just gets to cast that. Will my opponent block if I attack Karn? If they won't block, I should just attack Karn, stomp Karn, kill Karn. Try to deal with the rest later. I don't think I can risk that, though. I just have to get that out of the way. Do tapped Sacred Foundry. Swing in at Karn. That God Pharaoh statue is very strong here. What? I must have misclicked. But... well, that's annoying. Okay, there's a Nykthos, which taps for a mana of any color. I would have sworn that I attacked Karn there. Like, I'm confident enough that I clicked on Karn that I'm going to go back and watch the video to see if that was a bug. Alright, another Kiora with different art. Alright, Karn minuses again, which is something that I explicitly wanted to stop by attacking Karn. Into a Sky Sovereign. I think this game's over. I'm gonna keep playing, though. Yeah, what the fuck? I cannot physically attack Karn. Yeah, this is a display bug. So I guess I click this to attack Karn. Okay, something was fucked up last turn, for sure. Alright, so this, in theory, should kill Karn. Okay, it did kill Karn. I don't really want to play Drannith Magistrate into that. Oh no, I can't cast that into this. I guess to keep up pressure on the Planeswalkers, I will do this. It just doesn't feel good. Alright. 5 mana. Big Booty Boat appears. Big Booty Boat doesn't appear. Oh, they were in their draw step. Big Booty Boat will appear. Alright, there it is. Goodbye, Drannith Magistrate. Opponent doesn't have that many cards to work with, so, like, I do have that going for me. Hey, a removal spell. My opponent is effectively tapped out, so I don't mind doing some lazy sequencing here. Attack Kiora. Alright. Good stuff. I am ahead on board now. Note that my opponent can make a 2/2 green wolf if they want, which helps out a little bit. But that doesn't actually crew this, and this cannot be done at instant speed. Okay. So you're telling me there's a chance. Opponent goes to 10. Costs 5 mana. I am not going to try to get the maximum value out of this card. I just want this extra body on board. Because this extra body on board represents lethal next turn. I'm not actually gonna... What is that? A Love-Struck Beast. Can't attack unless you control a 1/1 creature, but it can block. Sure. That's worth 1 damage if you do the untap. Then my opponent can go 3 mana to play the 5/5, and that draws them a card. Ooh, that's not great. So they get to Lightning Bolt one of my creatures here. Okay, it's going at the Celebrant. I am very close to killing my opponent here. If this Aganja was a different removal spell, I would have lethal on board. Hello, lethal damage. How are you today? This will be Stomp, targeting this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Human out of the way. And this is 8 damage at my opponent's face. Hot damn. That should do it. Okay. Scoreboard. And we beat what I think is one of the better decks in the format from an outside point of view. Alright, this is round 3. I'm playing against a Yorion deck of some kind. Again, mulliganing for not having enough land here. Okay. Second hand is white good. I don't have anything in my deck that uses white, I don't think, so I think I can just throw back this land. Keep basics in case that's relevant for some reason. The Drannith Magistrate will allow me to keep my opponent, Mardu colors. Will allow me to keep my opponent from... Oh no, they changed the fucking companion rule! This doesn't stop companions anymore! Also, I just drew Borborygmos. Is that a problem? That feels like a problem. That's a problem for future Phil to figure out. Current Phil is just gonna play whatever this game has to offer. Okay, that's a bug. So we are 5-color confirmed. Leyline Binding, the card that will save Legacy. Are we going to see it in action? In Pioneer? Is Leyline Binding even legal in Pioneer? I have no fucking idea. But it seems like my opponent's doing some 5-color control nonsense. I don't know what sort of Tribal Flames, Scion of Draco type cards are available in this format to know what exactly my opponent's payoff for being a 5-color deck is. We'll hopefully figure that out. I think I'm just gonna play mana efficiently here. Play this Cleric. Yes. Grab a Possibility Storm. Oh man, this just tutors to top of deck, not to hand. Oh my gosh, I'm so used to legacy power level that I just kind of assumed that it would go to my hand. Ugh. This card is not great. I'm not saying it shouldn't be in the deck, but, like, I need to fucking hit 5 land drops at least in order to, like, do my thing with this deck, and something that, like, tutors to the top of library is a really rough ask, given that... Oh, they just didn't use the ability. I will absolutely trade bodies here. I do not want my opponent getting a Lotus Petal worth of value every turn. Alright, well there it goes. Fires of Invention. I remember this spell being bullshit. I don't remember what it does. You can only cast spells during your turn. Oh, right. It just makes, like, basically everything free. Okay. Okay. Goodbye, Drannith Magistrate. Alright. Surprise, surprise, there is the Possibility Storm. So I am willing to shock myself here. I'm gonna go ahead and cast a First Day of Class. I think I'm gonna take the more expensive one here, in case the counters become relevant. Then I'll cast a Drannith Magistrate. Gives this haste, so I can crash in for a whopping 2 damage with it. Alright. Table turns into the spooky side. How am I supposed to win with the Borborygmos in my hand? I guess the answer is, like, make treasures cast the Borborygmos. Okay, what is that? Return target permanent from your graveyard to your hand. Sure. That's fine. That's less fine. So now I'm just dealing with... Well, I guess it's a temporary exile. This whole Gloomshrieker Reflection of Kikijiki thing is a kick in the pants, though. So I don't really have a way to just put this Borborygmos back in my deck, right? I just have to cast it. Yeah. I think at this point, my opponent's far enough ahead where I should just concede. I don't have Brainstorm effects to put the Borborygmos or the Enter the Infinite back into the deck. That's like a problem. I also don't really have best set of tools versus this opponent. I guess I keep these as time walks, and I take like a little bit of interaction versus my opponent? Question mark. Oh, maybe I should cut one more Flame Scroll Celebrant for a Skyclave. I'm actually gonna do that. Okay, I think I'm just gonna keep this opening hand. Like, I have a Possibility Storm and some stuff to do with my mana in the initial turns. I'm gonna call that good enough. Alright, land go. I expect this game is going to be off to a slow start from both sides of the battlefield. I'm fine with just stomping my opponent at end step and then just playing Fable. Try and smooth out this hand a little bit. And discard the second Possibility Storm next turn, assuming that nothing else changes. Alright, I will take my token producer. Well, actually, if my token producer doesn't die, that's a pretty big if, but if it doesn't die, I can just cast Possibility Storm next turn and start trying to do the thing. Although it's a little unclear to me whether or not just casting Possibility Storm immediately is good or not. It's gonna be weird. Although I could just, like, Possibility Storm into an immediate Drannith Magistrate, and that would be fucking cool. Okay, there's a shock from my opponent. Alright, we're getting chained to the rocks. Which is very good against a token, because it means that my opponent can just choose something new later. It's red-green. I don't know this card. Draw a card. Okay, just turn something into a 5-color land. Okay. Do I keep the second Possibility Storm? Very possible that something could happen to the first one. But I think I'm into getting rid of it. I think I get rid of it and another land. Just kind of fishing for better cards, because I need to find something that learns eventually. Always playing Mountain. Do I want the 2-1? Do I want to Revel in Silence? I can just, like, Revel in Silence and then Bone Crusher Giant my opponent. That sounds kind of nice. Yeah, that sounds kind of nice. Alright, so let's just take this baby time walk here. No spells for you. You can make a land drop, though. And put Yori into hand, I guess. Wait, is there something about activating abilities on this? No, activate abilities of Planeswalkers. I may just win this game with a couple of 4-power attackers, actually. Okay, opponent is opting not to put the Yori into hand, which means they have some piece of interaction they can do. Not gonna be counter magic. Okay. I now don't have the 5th land for Possibility Storm, but I don't think the game is about that right now. Could be wrong. Doesn't feel like the game's about that right now. Feels like the game is about hitting my opponent with Bone Crusher Giant repeatedly. And hoping that my opponent doesn't, like, Supreme Verdict me or equivalent. 4 mana, I don't know this card. Beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice another enchantment. If you do, search your library for a creature card. Mana value equal to 1 plus the sacrifice enchantment's mana value. This card is fucking wild. I have no idea what's gonna happen with this. Uh-huh. So you sacrifice this, get Gloom Shrieker, and then return the Omen of the Sea? Like, is that where we go with this? I guess there's also, like, the Deputy of Detention type stuff. Oh, Knight of Autumn. This is an enchantment on the backside still, right? Yeah. Cool. Feel like I have to get rid of that. I feel like I lose to that card if I don't get rid of it. I don't know exactly how I lose to it. I feel like I lose to it. I'll crash in for 4, see if my opponent wants to chump block. I feel like the answer is a resounding no. Still no learn card for executing the combo, and no Drannith Magistrate. Table's good. Table's very good, in fact. That's a learn card. Now I just need that last land. Awkwardly, I can use the thing that I look for to find. Why do these light up when I learn? Or discard a card to draw a card. Okay, that's why. So, like, very awkwardly, I could use this to get my next land drop, and then just try to luck my way into another learn effect. I think at 20 life, though, that doesn't make sense. Let's crash in with this 4-3 and see if my opponent wants to trade. Feels like no. Oh, shit. That's very good. Just gives my opponent a 4-4 that they can trade off with that. I mean, that's fine. I'm intending on doing a combo finish. I'm not going to play out a 2-2 Stonecoil Serpent. I may get punished for looting away this one land, though, if I don't find another. But then again, like, I wouldn't have learned this turn if I didn't loot away that land, right? What is that? Enter the battlefield, choose 2. Nuke an artifact or enchantment, gain 5 life, 4-4 Rhino, shield counter. I will absolutely trade away that body. I do not want to keep giving you mana every turn. I really hate that I'm probably going to have to pass the turn with Possibility Storm out. I'm not going to get to 7 mana. Like, cast it and Environmental Science at the same time. And if my opponent gets Yori into hand... Or no, that doesn't matter, right? Because if the Possibility Storm is in play, Yorion isn't Yorion, so it can't blink Knight of Autumn. Oh, Knight of Autumn didn't attack as well. Okay. Like, we're working on the setup here. I'm not actually sure if it's better to cast this or Elite Spellbinder, though. It super sucks that I'm missing my land drops, both because I can't cast Possibility Storm and because I can't cleanly double spell here. But again, I don't think I can waste my Environmental Science because I need it as a sorcery to kind of do my thing. Shit, another Rending Volley. Reflection of Kiki-Jiki Knight of Autumn is now a problem that I don't really think that I can beat. think the combo side is just totally dead here. Okay, there is another one of these thingies. So let's see what happens this time. My opponent can get one of those, what is it, Gloom Shrieker thingies, return a Titan of Industry. I feel dead. My opponent's deck is cool. I like this. Yeah, there's Gloom Shrieker. Just actually just returning Omen of the Sea. Yeah, I can't beat this though. The way that I win now is getting to 7 mana to combo off in a single turn while this is tapped. Okay. I think that is very unlikely given the number of lands that I have in my deck. Oh man, my opponent could also just like return any permanent from their graveyard every turn. Oh, cool. I am so fucked. I'm not even mad about it though. Like, I really like what my opponent has going on over there. Okay. I think this is a, like, damage report captain situation. Alright, Omen of the Sea is totally fine. Also, how high up the chain does this go? Like, you have something at 4 that's scarier than this? I can also just, like... Oh no, my opponent's smart. They're not... They're just, like, leaving up Reflection of Kiki-Jiki, so I can't possibly combo them off. The glass... Oh no. Okay. Now I have another card that learns. So that's nice. Wow. How many? I only have 3 basic lands. Okay. Alright. That's fine. So let's do this. And that glass bolt mimic shit is super fucking cute, and I'm so here for it. Alright, attacks in make no sense. So my opponent at end step can now just like make multiple Gloom Shriekers or multiple Reflection of Kiki-Jikis. They're going with multiple reflections. They can just go. They can try to go wide for a large amount of damage. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Are you gonna use the treasure as well? All right, treasure as well. I imagine the last one does a Gloom Shrieker. Yeah. All right, just getting Omen of the Sea again. Good, honest value. I have a feeling one of my creatures is not long for this. Ah, there it is. Legacy staple Leyline Binding. Just notable interaction here. Bonecrusher Giant says whenever it becomes a target of a spell, it's not actually becoming a target of the spell because this thing enters the battlefield and then creates a trigger that targets it. So it's not a spell on the stack that is targeting it. Also, am I just dead this turn? I can kill that original here. Which I guess I will... Oh, shit, Menace. I guess I won't do that. I guess I block a token then. Just soak up some damage. And my opponent has just left up multiple Reflection of Kiki-Jikis and mana. So I can't, like, Possibility Storm combo off on 7. Or I guess it would have to be 8 mana with this. I think at this point I'm comfortable conceding. Like, this isn't gonna happen. Alright, this is round 4. I have Possibility Storm and a way to learn. I have 2 lands, though. Like, am I supposed to mulligan this just because, like, it doesn't physically produce enough mana to cast my cards? Or am I just supposed to keep something that has both of my combo pieces? Guess I'm gonna keep this. Like, I'm on the draw, that helps a bit. But, like, I think I've pretty quickly identified the core problem with the deck. It's the mana base, which is usually the case, right? Like, almost every time I have significant problems getting a deck to, you know, do the thing, whatever the thing is, it's because the mana just physically is not good enough. Alright. I don't know what I'm playing against after seeing Island Island. I'm just gonna cast a Drannith Magistrate now. Alright, my opponent thought about it, but it did resolve. And from here... Okay, we're just playing an honest-to-goodness blue control deck of some kind. I don't know if there's flash creatures that I'm running into with a Drannith Magistrate attack, so I don't think I attack with it. I'm just going to go ahead and cast a 4/3, see if my opponent counters. If they do counter, I'm comfortable attacking in with this. Okay. Sure. This must be some sort of, like, berries, flyer style deck. I don't know exactly what's Pioneer legal here, but I've at least got the deck vibe down at this point. Again though, like it's like turn 4, and I just can't miss land drops with this deck. It's so important, and that's a rather lucky draw here. I'm not attacking this into these flyers. I think I just play this one this turn. The backside of this is not, like, really good versus my opponent here. Okay, that resolved. That's cool. No attack. I'm a coward. Alright, petty theft. Bounce it back to hand. I mean, this is the sort of flash thing that I was expecting. Okay, that's a snowland finisher. Alright. So, I don't know that I expose Possibility Storm to a counterspell. Like, it's weird. I've got 2 of them. I think I want to try to bait my opponent to use another counterspell on this, though. Okay, cost 1 less if you control a spirit. Counter. Okay, so it's mana leak. Sure. So, in the theoretical world where I can get to 7 mana, I can just play the backside of this as a counterspell, like a preemptive counterspell for their counterspell, and then play Possibility Storm. Okay, it's Ascendant Spirit, and my opponent did not. Oh my god, why? I just, like, lose the game now. I have to... Can this be activated at instant speed? This can be activated at instant speed, actually. Wow, that is frustrating. So... I do this thing, I try to get this to resolve, and then try to play a fair game of Magic afterwards. Maybe get treasures to cast this, put it back in the deck, and get it again. Alright, that is a Spell Pierce. I'm going to just die to onboard threats, though. Like, the combination of this spirit plus Brazen Borrower plus this land is going to turn the corner on this game so incredibly quickly once my opponent stops countering my shit. Like, they don't need more cards, so, like, the Drannith Magistrate Possibility Storm lockout isn't gonna be good enough to win. Alright, that is a Curious Obsession. I absolutely cannot block here. So, I'm gonna take my Lightning Bolt, let my opponent have a card, and then pray that Possibility Storm resolves on my turn. I don't think I can wait for 7 mana, given how few lands I have in the deck. That doesn't remove this anymore. Alright. Please? Oh shit, the Brazen Borrower is not actually live, right? Brazen Borrower is not actually live. Is your last thing a counter spell? Okay, it's not. So these are all the spells that my opponent gets for the rest of the game. But I don't think that wins. Again, my opponent has something that is going to become very large. Cool. So, at the last stage here, it's 2 +1/+1 counters on it, and gains a very spooky effect. Yeah, there we go. Right, so, like, I just eat 7 here. Also, this can be activated more than once, right? If it is an angel, put 2 +1/+1 counters on it, and it gains that. This isn't level up, where you can only activate that thing once. Oh, that's kind of horrifying in a slower format. I don't really know how I win. Because, like, my Borborygmos, my win condition is in my hand. Oh my god. What have I done to deserve this? Let's cast some cards and see what happens. I can, pseudo cascade into that dragon thing, right? And, then block with that, make 3 treasures, cast Borborygmos, put it back in deck, not... Ah! My pain is fucking real right now. Oh my god. Alright, okay. You don't fly. Get a Fable. I think I just hit done. Oh my god. guess I can attack for 1 here. Like, my opponent doesn't have mana to do anything cool. But I'm just dead, right? Like, opponent activates his last ability 1 more time, and then I just take 10 in the air that I can't do anything about. Yep, take your 1 damage on the way out. Or sorry, I'm gonna take 9, right? It's 2 +1/+1 counters. And then does it get multiple instances of the, like, draw a card ability? Or does it have a single instance of that? I think it's multiple, right? There should be 3 triggers. Wow. Now, admittedly, the cards in hand don't do a lot right now, but... okay. Cast this. Possibility Storm into Dragon. Oh shit, Possibility Storm into Dragon. Okay. Do this. Don't want to attack with this, or no, fuck. No, it's okay. This doesn't trample or anything. The 4/3. I guess I want to leave blockers back here. I guess I'll leave blockers back, right? Like, because I'm either going to kill my opponent with Borborygmos somehow, or I'm not. Those are the 2 timelines of this world. Alright, that thing crashes in. Take my block. Get 3 treasures. Okay. This is the most, like, niche line I have ever played towards, I think. Like, this is very silly. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I guess I just cast this 1 thing, and I think I have 3 copies of this, so I think I have to hit my last copy of that as well. Okay. There's another Drannith Magistrate. Alright, I'm dead in the air. We tried. My deck said no. So I guess I need these as flying blockers, and apparently as a way to make green mana. I'm not really on board with these at all. It's like, I'm just not getting to 7 mana to cast this and then cast Possibility Storm afterwards. I think that's just totally unreasonable. So I will just play more flying blockers. And I don't know, and do you have flash? No. You're still a flyer. That's still worth something. All that good? Sideboarding with this deck feels incredibly awkward. I would like to play first. This hand has mana and a big dragon. I don't really feel like this wins the game. Like, this just gets countered on, like, turn 3 or 4 whenever I cast it, and my opponent goes on with their life. This is a much better hand. I'm going to keep this. I don't know which card to get rid of. It could just be the 5-drop because I have so much trouble making land drops. I think I'm just going to get rid of Bone Crusher Giant. Alright. Land go. I also think that I'm tight enough on mana that I don't really get particularly Hey. No, that's fine. Cool. Alright, you've got a 1/1. There was another thought brewing. Okay, yeah. I think also since I don't really have that many lands in my deck, I don't get much better at actually playing around the, like, Spell Pierce, Mana Leak sort of effects. Like, I can't just wait my opponent out. Alright, Pathway. I think it's okay to attack in after what I saw last game. Because now that Enter the Infinite is in my hand, I am absolutely planning on winning via combat damage. Also, just the 4 mana repeatable draw card is kind of cool. Like, it's still slow by format standards, but, like, since you want a 1/1 flyer anyway for the rest of the synergies the deck has, like, that's totally fine as something to do for turns where you've held up a mana leak effect and your opponent didn't play a spell. Okay. Alright, there is a Curious Obsession. I don't have anything to say about that. Just going to drown in cards here. Opponent's on 5. And I am going to attempt to cast cards. And they are gonna get countered. But I think I am on the plan of, like, cast something until something sticks. Okay. 1 damage Reno. This one feels over in my opponent's direction. But I think I said that before and managed to put a win on the scoreboard, so keep playing a while longer. And now that's outside of range of Stomp specifically. My opponent just has a lot of looks at counter spells now. Okay. Cast cards. Still something sticks. I don't think anything is going to stick with double Curious Obsession in play. Yeah. I think I'm going to value my time here and toss in the towel. Like with the Enter the Infinite in hand already, I think this is insurmountable. All right, final round here. I have kept what is a pretty reasonable opening hand here. I have a little bit of mana acceleration. I have the Possibility Storm, and I have a way to learn. There's a lot to like here. In before I draw Borborygmos again and just lose my fucking mind. Ooh, that's even a Drannith Magistrate for this turn. Don't mind if I do. I might do the thing this game. Like, it's looking good. I'm gonna need one more land drop. But, like, I can learn without sacrificing the Gold Hound, and this does, like, scale up some of my cards if I need to play fair for a little while. I don't know what we're playing against. I imagine I'll probably find out this turn. Season of Growth. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, scry 1. Okay, I have no idea what we're playing against. Alright. Dock. 1, 2, 3. Barring Regimen. I'll learn for the cheaper of the 2 cards. Is Environmental Sciences. Attack with both of these creatures. And we'll scale up the Drannith Magistrate to make that a little bit tankier. Alright, that's 3 total damage. Looking good. I just legitimately have no idea what Seasons of Growth is going to mean. Okay. So that can be an indestructible 1/1. If I draw a land, I just resolve Possibility Storm, and I beat a Danto Vanguard very easily. Did not draw a land. I think this is a time where I just manually make my next land drop to have the lockout portion of the deck online next turn. I think I'm just going to play a bonus Drannith Magistrate in case my opponent has removal. Is only offensively, right? +2/+0 offensively, yeah. I can go ahead and attack in with this. And it's better for my opponent to just take the damage than it is to block here. Okay. And we should just have more copies of this card. This card is giving me a reasonable threat over time. Oh, we're going like a Boggles type route. Okay. Got a 2/2 Vigilance. That will scale up. All that glitters. Okay, sure. Oh, shit, there's more text to this. Whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you control, draw a card. Okay. I did not read the relevant part before. That makes more sense now. None of this has, like, trample or anything yet. I think I'll just block with the Drannith Magistrate. Not really expecting my opponent to have targeted spot removal here. I'm also not really expecting them to see what's coming here. Fantastic. Alright, so there is Possibility Storm. My opponent's not going to get spells anymore. Willing to take the damage on this next hit. This has Menace. I can just attack in with this turn. Or actually, I guess if they can't cast spells, this is safe, right? This will be a 4/6 against a 5/5 Indestructible. Yeah, that should just be safe. Crash in. My opponent can, like, block or not block. It doesn't really matter here. Like, they pay, or no, they don't need to pay the 4 life, so it's just correct to block. Okay. Yeah, see, like, with the Possibility Storm in... Why are you shocking? You can't... Okay, my opponent doesn't see what's going to happen here. What is Alpha Authority? Hexproof and can't be blocked by more than one creature. Yeah, so I think I am just, like, very good now. So I just, like, block with a creature every turn or every other turn until I've kind of scaled things up enough that I don't need to worry. Alright, so I'm probably just casting both of these this... Oh, you enter tapped. Probably just casting both... Well, one of these now, I guess, this turn. And I'll get a new creature. Okay, my opponent is done with me. That's fair. This Drannith Magistrate, after a couple more turns, will outscale the Odonto Vanguard. Okay. I don't really have a lot here. I'll play these Skyclave Apparitions for sure. Elite Spellbinder feels slow, but I might play it. Celebrant doesn't seem particularly strong here. Well, my opponent could have some Oblivion Ring type enchantments, but if I get Drannith Magistrate plus Possibility Storm, that doesn't matter. So let's get ever so slightly more interactive and call that good. Bonecrusher Giant can maybe sort of sometimes remove something, but it feels like there's a pretty narrow window for that to actually work. Okay. This hand has 3 mana to start with. Is this a keep? I have the Possibility Storm and a Learn card. Technically access to another Learn card. This is maybe a keep. Like, I also have Bonecrusher Giant, which can maybe kill a creature. I don't think it does on the draw very consistently, but I'm not familiar enough with my opponent's deck to know for sure. I would like to hit another land drop in my first 2 draw steps, though. I think that's pretty important. Another Goldhound is pretty good. So this enters tapped, unless I control 2 or more other lands, which I probably won't. I think this is just Goldhound this turn, tapped land, and Goldhound next turn if I miss my land drop. Yeah, I hate harping on the mana so much, but like I'm in a league and I can't change my deck list. Kinda wish I had played this one in the tournament practice room, though. Light Pause. Whenever an aura enters the battlefield under your control, if you cast it, you may search your library for an aura card with mana value less than or equal to that aura, with a different name than each aura you control. Put it onto the oh, shit. Well, that's really fucking good. And I think since I've missed my land drop on 2 draws, I have to use Bonecrusher Giant to kill Light Pause in response to whatever aura my opponent casts. And that is an ultimate feel bad moment. Yeah, that's something that I probably don't recover from, like, this game, just full stop. Yeah. Please attach something to Light Claws and not the Hexproof card. Fuck. Okay, what does this one do? Yikes. I can do colorless and red to kill the Light Paws, but man, that hexproof threat is rough here. It's like, it's not rough right now, like this is 1 damage as of right now, but like given how far behind I am now, this is pretty brutal. Yeah, the fight trigger doesn't do anything here. Bunker Giant, you can hang out over here. Yeah, alright. Swing and a miss on land drops 3 times in a row. I think means that I now need to use this card to fetch something that can get me a land drop. Like, there was a little bit of a risk to this opening hand, but like the opening hand did have 3 mana, and realistically 3 draw steps to hit the first land to play a reasonable game, but like we're not playing a reasonable game now. So now I just like fully have to hope that my opponent just has stone cold nothing. Oh my god, why? What have I done to deserve this? Alright, this gets Mountain, play Goldhound. It's pretty unlikely that I combo kill my opponent at this point, so I am just going to get my damage on. I'm not going to try to trade with this. I'm going to try to hope that Like, some combination of fair cards can kill my opponent. Like, there's worlds where I draw Drannith Magistrate into land, and I still can put up a win for this one. So my opponent is still attacking. I am good with that as well. Okay. Portable Hole. That should absolutely go on Goldhound here. Yep. Opponent agrees. That's very fucking strong. Give me land. Give me land. Oh shit, it's land. Okay. We are absolutely in this game then. Like, given that draw. Like, 4/4 dragon. Let's go. Yeah, like, I can play 4-power attackers for like 3 turns in a row. Okay. That's very good here. But I think my opponent's sitting on a lot of land or a lot of land or otherwise awkward cards. I don't know what this does. When enchanted permanent dies or is put into exile, return that card to the battlefield under your control. Sure. My opponent draws a card for this. Okay. Now it starts getting spooky. But I can put a Possibility Storm into play. Are you attacking? You are attacking. I will be blocking. Alright, I will take the treasure tokens here. What are you waiting to pay costs on? Oh, you're just literally gaining 2 life? Sure, that's fine. I'm not quite there yet. I think I have to just floop this into play and then attempt to win the game next turn. It may take a few turns for me to actually win the game, but I should be fine on the chump blocking route. Now, if my opponent gets something that gives us like flying or some other form of evasion, like menace, like it's a different story. Okay, just more land from my opponent. Like, that's what I need. Oh no, they turned it into a light pause. Actually, I guess I can just stomp that. Actually, if I stomp it, do I have any instance? Okay, if I stomp, I go into first day of class. Okay, that's fine. This, what is this? Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, +1/+1 counter. Beginning of your end step, and if enchantment was put in your graveyard from the battlefield this turn, you may return it from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, that's cool. I'm on a bit of a mana bottleneck here, right? I think I take the hit. Oh, maybe I don't. Because, like, block while I can guaranteed block. Kind of makes sense. I might be on a mana bottleneck. Oh shit, or that can just happen. Oh, but I have the fucking Enter the Infinite in my hand, though. Yeah, so I have to get up to enough treasures to cast Enter the Infinite. Shit. What was I playing towards? Fuck. Yeah, like, my deck just doesn't function when I draw Borborygmos or Enter the Infinite. Okay, let's see if I can somehow put up a win some other way. But I don't really know what way that is. It's Goldhound. No, I just don't think I can win with Enter the Infinite in my hand. Yeah, I'm gonna concede. Like, when I draw the Enter the Infinite, like, my deck just doesn't work. Like, do I need to be boarding this in so that I have outs to that situation happening? I don't think that's realistic. Do I want to play Deafening Silence so that if I have Possibility Storm in play, my opponent can't turn an enchantment into a different enchantment? Slightly crazy. I don't really know what I would cut is the issue, so I don't think I'm gonna do that. This 2 lands, kind of third land. I think I just mulligan this though. Like, I need to just hit my fucking 5th land drop. And keeping the 2 landers like this is just like not working. Yes, this is much, much, much better. And now I have to make a choice of like, do I want the Bone Crusher Giant or not? Bone Crusher Giant is really good if my opponent has Light Paws. I think I'm just going to keep everything associated with my combo, though, and actually just try to win the game on my own. I'm not sure that I'm going to be successful if I try to not lose the game and be the control deck. I think I need to just be the combo deck here. I'm also hoping to draw some other lands, as always, as, like, shocking myself 3 times with Sacred Foundry is rough. But I do think I need to curve out. I think I need to curve out. So I'm gonna go ahead and cast the Drannith Magistrate here. Crash in for my 1 point of damage. And I can start scaling up a Drannith Magistrate next turn with Sparring Regimen. Which I guess I'm thankful that I drew it. But again, like, triple shock with Sacred Foundry is rough, and I absolutely cannot sacrifice the Gold Hound immediately. That's the light pause that I chose not to play around. Am I playing this dragon? I think I'm playing this dragon and then playing Sparring Regimen next turn. And hoping that's good enough. There's a lot of worlds where it isn't. Ow. Alright. Dragon, Spirit. Did not expect to be all in on a Sparring Regimen at any point in this video, but here we are. Okay, sure. Portable Hole on Drannith Magistrate is not disrupting my primary way that I am hoping to win the game. So that's fine. What does this do? As long as enchanted... Okay, this gives trample. That's rough. And what is this? Okay, now it's trample and hexproof. So that's horrifying. I mean, I know what my plan is. I have basically 0 ability to deviate from it. I can get the +2/+2 counter learn thing, though. That's the good news. So, like, this is a lot of damage very quickly. I might be able to race my opponent, but I don't think so. Like, I kept a hand with a specific strategy in mind and a specific game plan, and I had to deviate from that, and my opponent had the thing. Oh shit, now it flies. So my opponent can now give that vigilance as well, I believe. Or we could just get ethereal armor and just fuck me up royally. Oh jeez. I now have to chump block with the card that I planned on winning the game with. I'm dead. I cannot recover from this. There's also trample damage here. I could legitimately just die this turn. Is that the other +1? Yeah. That's 27. I'm just gonna let my opponent have the satisfaction of smacking me for lethal damage. Rune of Sustenance. Draw a card. Oh, and lifelink. 30, 29 creature. Honestly happy for the opponent here. Like, you got it. So, like, I'll block. Now, in the world where this didn't happen, like, I was going to be attacking for 8 this turn and then lethal the following turn. Like, this was a respectable hand. But we end this league with a 1-4, with the majority of our losses being 0-2 games. Overall thoughts on the deck list. Pretty bad. I think the problem here is that this is a combo piece that has too many moving parts. So, Drannith Magistrate plus Possibility Storm is an A+B combo deck that wins the game if your opponent has stuff on board that you can beat. Otherwise, it requires more pieces. And Possibility Storm, card that learns, learn card itself, and Borborygmos Enraged and Enter the Infinite being in your hand means that you need like 4 or 5 different things working together in order to combo off. And I just don't think that's realistic, even by the slower speeds of Pioneer. I think if you want to do this, you need to walk a delicate line of being able to interact with your opponent's board so that Drannith Magistrate Possibility Storm is an actual win. But you also need to balance that with being a dedicated combo deck. And I like very frequently felt in sideboarding like things were just awkward. I don't like Flame Scroll Celebrant. I don't think that card's playable here. I would probably start by cutting that for roughly 2 more lands. And then I'd probably want to play like 2 more Sparring Regimens. Like, that seemed like a very reasonable card when I drew it. I think you like reluctantly have to play something like this if finding Possibility Storm is important. I'm I'm also not really sold on this card. Like, it creating treasures was super cool. But this card, I don't know. Like, I'm very lukewarm on the deck. The idea is incredibly interesting, but unless there's some way to put these two cards back into the deck in a reasonable way, it just doesn't seem like the strategy is viable, because every turn, you know, you're going to have a 1 in 40 chance or whatever to just, like, effectively lose the ability to combo off just by a draw step. And I think that over time adds up, because, like, we saw it multiple times where, like, I had the win or very close to the win, and then I drew one of those cards and it was like, okay, my combo doesn't work anymore. And it may be like you need to run 2 copies of each of those so this sort of thing doesn't happen, but then you have more dead draws. um so I don't know. I don't know the format well enough to say these are the specific cards that this deck is missing. But I feel like you need to get to 5 mana more consistently, and you need to be able to deal with opposing permanents in a better way. Those are the primary complaints that I have about the deck. I think these are probably the most expendable cards of the ones that I've seen here. I hope you all enjoyed the league. If you did, please click the like button. If this is your first time to the channel, please consider subscribing if you want to see more. And I hope you all have a great rest of the day. See ya!